Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Some brothers and sisters have requested from me that I prepare a wudu tutorial. Wudu is very important for us as Muslims because we do it on a daily basis in preparation for salah and to stay in the state of ritual purity. And this is why we need to make sure that the wudu that we are performing is valid and correct. There are some common mistakes that some of us might make that we are not aware of, and I'm going to point to them through this tutorial. I have with me my son Ibrahim, and he's going to demonstrate how wudu is done. Before I do start wudu, I need to make sure that there are 4 things that I am aware of. Number 1, with my wudu parts, my face, my arms, my head and my feet, I need to make sure that there is no najasa or impurities on it. Number 2, I need to make sure that I don't have anything that is preventing water from getting to my skin, like for example glue or paint or a tight wristband, a watch, tight watch, a tight ring or anything along those lines, nail polish, etc., etc. Number 3, I need to make sure that the water that I'm using is halal and free of any dubious ownership. It's not usurped water, it's not stolen water and anything along those lines. And number 4, I need to make sure that my head and my feet are dry. I'm going to explain that during the tutorial as well. The sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi is to do wudu the amount of a cup and to do ghusl the amount of a jug. And this is why we're going to demonstrate how easy it is to do wudu with as much water as you can see here in front of you. We need to make sure that we avoid wasting of water and always respect the environment. There are some mustahab things that you can do before wudu. Of course, we know that you've done your niyyah, and one mustahab thing is to wash your hands, another mustahab thing is to gargle water, a third mustahab thing is to sniff some water. The first wajib thing to do is to wash your face. Ibrahim is going to start washing his face. Of course, the top part is from the line of your hair above your forehead and all the way down till below your chin. And sideways, it is between your thumb, everything that fits in between your thumb and your middle finger, making sure that I am doing a little bit more to cover all parts. In wudu, it is wajib to wash your face once. The second time is mustahab. This doesn't mean that you can only splash water twice. You can splash water as many times as you want to, but it all comes down to your niyyah. So this would be Ibrahim's second wash, which is the mustahab wash. Third wash, there is no third wash, and if someone was to do so with that intention, it will invalidate your wudu. There is one thing that is commonly performed by some, and that is to wash upwards, the opposite way. Ibrahim is going to show how that is done. This is wrong. It's called naqs, and it invalidates your wudu. You need to make sure that when you are washing downwards only. If you do have a beard, you don't need to scratch into the beard, you only need to be covering it. When you finished washing your face, and of course there are many supplications and du'as that can be recited, hopefully it would be a good idea for my brothers and sisters to memorize these du'as for each process during wudu. It's mustahab when you're going to start washing your right arm to put water in your right arm and then put it onto your left and then start washing your right arm. You're washing your right arm from above your elbow all the way down till the tip of your fingers, making sure that you're covering all parts. Again, first time is wajib, and then your second wash is a mustahab wash. Making sure that you're not doing naqs, show them how naqs would be. That will also invalidate your wudu. Of course, it's mustahab as a male for you to pour the water on the outside of your elbow, and if you're a female, you are pouring water on the inside of your elbow. Seeing that you have finished your right arm, you are now going to wash your left arm. Again, from above your elbow all the way down, between your fingers, making sure that you've covered all parts. Making sure that you've also washed this area, because this area which has the crinkles is usually left out sometimes. When you finish washing your arm, your left arm, you make sure that you no longer touch anything, because you are going to have to wipe your head and your feet with wudu water. Wudu water means that you are that whatever that's on your hands now is going to be used for the wiping. Let's say you are using a tap. This is what you would usually do when you are turning the tap off. You have some water left over in your right hand, and you are going to finish with washing your left arm. So you would do something along these lines of turning the tap off and then finishing with you washing your left arm, maybe the second time, the mustahab time. So you've stepped away, you haven't touched any foreign water outside of your wudu water, like the sink or the tap or anything else. Then you're going to wipe your head. I did say in the beginning that your head needs to be dry, because when you are doing the masah, the wiping, your head needs to be dry. You are wiping the first third of your head. It's mustahab for you to do with 3 fingers or more. Now it doesn't matter which way you do it, that is absolutely fine. After you've finished wiping your head, you are now ready to wipe your feet. So Ibrahim's finished wiping his head. Now we are going to show how you wipe your feet. Just in case you're outside or your hands have dried, you can use your wudu parts to obtain more water. So for example, Ibrahim's hand is now dry. He can use his beard or his arm to get some water on his hand, so he is able to wipe his foot. The last stage is the wiping of your feet. You wipe your right foot with your right hand, your left foot with your left hand. You need to make sure that when you are going to do the wiping, the top part of your foot is dry. So, for example, Ibrahim would have some drops of water on the top part of his foot, and he has dried them now, and then he's going to go down and do the wiping. This is how you do your wiping of your feet, and you need to make sure that your foot is fixed. It doesn't necessarily mean that the foot is on the ground, on the floor. It can be raised, but you are wiping your foot with your hands. This is the end of the tutorial for wudu. I do hope, inshallah, that my brothers and sisters have benefited from this. If there are any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to inbox me and contact me. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi tahirin.